do it. Your lighting's not that good.
Fine. You may not interrupt these or be annoying, or you're going to have someone else.
I'm not. I just lost my comfort.
That was your own fault. You were worried about me, and I'm perfectly fine.
I'm sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
Come out and race out of the room. Nice face. It says we're recording on mine yesterday too, but no one else's. What does that mean?
I don't know. I always record my meetings, so.
Well, we're recording me.
Okay. You mean with Haley?
Yeah.
Because she tapes them and then she sends them out in an email if you want to do them again.
I'm finished. What time does your meeting start?
9:15. I already told you.
You make it sound like you have a baby chick. Oh.
You're not going to do that. Ready? Are you going to do that during my
Don't
break?
get mad at me. We're trying not to get mad at each other today. And that's not working for you.
Well, I have to teach, so that's not going to work for me if that's what you're doing. I'm just telling you that.
How do you let people in? Or they just come in?
Either way.
Share screen. Who are you sharing it with?
Huh?
I don't know where I'm at.
I know. Can you do your work? Don't be so distracted by my work.
Come yelp and restart the room. He yelped and raced out of the room because it's right here. Because Humphrey shot a rubber band at Clem's nose, so Clem yelped and raced out of the room. Ow.
Lovely. Hi, Brooklyn. Hi, Brooklyn. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, good. You can see me.
Morning, Miss Olson.
Good morning.
Are we in the right group?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was getting ready to do the Miller one, then I'm like, whoa, I don't even see your name. So okay.
No, we flip-flopped.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
The screen already up, so I pulled it up for you, but that's good. Okay.
Yeah. We'll just wait another minute for a couple more people. You have the same people in your group. We just switched so I could see you and Mrs. Miller
Nice.
see the other kids.
No,
Miss Miller's on the other thing. Can you do your work? Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I've got one shooting a Nerf gun as I'm trying to log in, and I'm like, you better know.
I get it. I don't know where my, oh, there we are.
On the counter. Have they given you, I noticed they sent out that little survey.
Nope.
But see, same with us. Our district will not have any conversation with us about it. I'm like, why are you not, like, if I need to be preparing units to do distant learning, I wish they would just say something.
I know. I have no idea. It just sounds like The union sent us one kind of similar, but I don't know if that was like they're sharing that with the district or like because the district never really asked us. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess similar. Their concern, our union's been pushing the reality that the funding, that they could start doing reductions because
yeah.
there's no money. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, just about the time you're like, oh, I'm tenured, I've got a lot of seniority. I'm like, it just creates unknown anxiety.
No, I don't think we're gonna like get rid of any staff. They're just gonna cut things.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Are you ready, Brooklyn? People are confused because I switched all your groups around. Well, I just switched the people. I just switched me and Mrs. Miller.
No, it's good.
Are you
to
ready,
see you.
Brooklyn?
Ready?
All right. Did you read the story yet? Or I'm going to read.
We have not.
Okay, good. I don't have, can you stop talking to me? Sorry, my other child's here.
No, you're totally fine.
All right. So this is actually not, it's a story, but it's a poem. So it's written as a poem. So we'll talk about why that's a little bit different. So can you see it on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So this is a poem and it's called, where's it called? The Mysterious Egg. Okay. Let's see. All right. The farm slept through the gusty storm, all tucked away inside and warm, while rafters shook and hinges squeaked, shutters banged, and branches creaked. The night was dark, the wind blew strong, a little egg was blown along. Small and silent, round and white, it rolled up to the barn that night. Bright sky, pink clouds, the rising sun, rooster called, the morning's come. But when he noticed things amiss, he crowed, surprised, whose egg is this? The chickens cackled from their pens, if there's an egg, it's from us hens. Don't be so quick, said goose and duck, perhaps that egg is mine, they clucked. Cow yawned and stretched and rolled from bed. I might have lost an egg, she said. Then rooster crowed, whose egg are you? The little egg gave not a clue. The chickens ran to clean the roost. I'll dig up tasty slugs, said goose. While duck fixed up a bed of reeds, cow polished, vacuumed, dusted and sneezed. Then all raced back to wait and see, each wondering, will it look like me? Small and silent, round and white, the egg held to its secret tight. I think the egg looks very goosey, Goose declared. I'll name it Lucy. But Duck believed the shape so neat was just the space for 2 webbed feet. The chickens fluttered in a snit, the egg says hen all over it. Cow, unsure of what to do, said she thought she heard it moo. They huddled up all close together, no one moved, beak or feather. Small and silent, round and white, that egg was watched all through the night. Then clunk, then crunch, then crackle, crack, wiggle, waggle, woggle, whack, and then a snap, the eggshell spread. Out popped a baby turtle's head. They clapped and hugged and named her Sue. She loved her roost and learned to moo. She found those slugs the best to eat and thought her bed of reeds a treat. The mystery solved, the story's done. The egg belonged to everyone. It's a cute little story. All right. So what do you think is, how do you know it's a poem or what makes it different? What did you notice, Brooklyn, that makes it a poem?
I noticed that it said like,
I can help you. Does it have rhyming words?
I think it does, yeah.
Did you notice right here it says squeaked and creaked and then let's see. So, a miss and this, and then it's not really set up like a story either. So a poem can be set up in something called stanzas, but it's still a story. It's just told through a poem.
It didn't really sound like a story, but it was a story for me.
Yeah, well, let's see. And then on here, so they had a big storm that came, and let's see right here. Oh, Grandma's here. Can you let her in? Sorry. Let her be quiet though. Sorry, my mom's here. All right. So let's just take a look. So was the storm powerful, dangerous, frightening, or gentle?
I don't think it's gentle.
Yeah, it said the wind blew strong.
Yeah, it's strong.
So do you think it was powerful or dangerous or frightening?
I think powerful.
Powerful? It does sound pretty powerful, huh? Okay. I'd probably put that. I'm not doing this for you, but all right. so let's just keep going through. So this word amiss, he noticed things amiss. That means they weren't right. Okay, so what happened in the story, because it's told through a poem, is there was a big storm, and then the egg blew in through the storm. So that's kind of important to the story, because they're not really sure whose egg it was. All right, so let's see.
It's kind of like the main story, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Whose egg is it?
Yeah, and they couldn't tell who, right? So
It was just a rat. Egg. They didn't know which one
yeah,
it was.
let me turn this up a little bit. My doggy's being silly. Let's see. Okay. So, it says, which of the following describes all of the animals? They all have the ability to produce eggs. None of them wants to keep the egg. None of them thinks they lost an egg, or they all think the egg belongs to them.
I think it's D.
You think so? Yeah, they do, huh?
Because they always say, whose egg is it? Like, I think it's mine. And like, no, I think it's mine.
I know, and they all think it's gonna moo or it's gonna crow or anything like that. Yeah, I'd go with that. Okay, let me go down here. Oops. Okay, it looks very goosey. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, so there's some other words in here too, because they have to make it rhyme because it's a poem. It says the chicken fluttered in a snit. And that just means they were like kind of irritated, right?
Yeah.
That it was their egg. And then it says, as the animals wait for the eggs to hatch, do they realize who the egg belongs to? They claim it resembles them. That means they think it looks like them. They decide to share the egg, or do they fear what's going to hatch from the egg?
I feel like I feel like they don't want to share the egg, but they have to because they don't know which is which. So I'd say it was like C or something.
Okay.
They don't really know which egg it is. So then there's like, maybe we'll have to share because we don't know which is which.
And that happens at the end of the story, right? When they all decide that they're going to share the egg.
Yeah.
And then, but before we got there, because this is like in the middle, we haven't gotten there yet, so we don't know yet what they're gonna do. They do claim that it all resembles them, and resembles means that it looks.
Yeah, that's true. So it
Yeah.
should be good. But probably at the last one, it's gonna be that one and C.
It would be, because they all want to be the egg, right? They decide to share the egg at the end. Okay, let me do.
Question 4.
Is there a question 4? Oh, yeah, there is one. Okay, so this one says, let me move us out of the way. Oops, now I can't see the question. So you're right, exactly what you just said was going to happen. What do the animals do when a turtle hatches? They share the responsibility of caring for the turtle. They try to find the turtle's mother. They teach the turtle how to be a turtle, or they find an adult turtle to help raise the baby turtle.
I don't think it's really C, because if there's just one turtle and there's just different animals, how are they gonna help him be a turtle if they're not even turtles?
Yes, what would be the best answer, do you think? What do you think? Yeah, they're gonna all share the responsibility of caring for the turtle.
Yeah.
Right. And those are just let's look at the actual questions here. Let me go back up. This is much easier with just one person. Huh. I bet they got confused because I switched. Like, where's Mrs. Miller? Okay, this is always a hard question. The main theme of the poem, and a theme is like a lesson, or what are we supposed to learn? And this is always the most difficult, because then the second question always goes with the first question. So let's look. Animals often love and support each other. Nature is full of delightful surprises. All creatures desire to have a family, or mistakes have a way of working out. These are all really great, and this is why this one's hard. Is there anyone you think is not right? Get rid of.
I think it's not B.
You think it's not B? It is B? You know what? I made this one. When I looked at this question, I was like, oh, it could be this one too. Mistakes have a way of working out, because they mistakenly rolled in there.
Yeah, because I was thinking of that one, the D one, and I realized that it makes more sense because the theme's basically about like they have to work out stuff like whose egg is it, and they have to like share it or something.
No, that's what I thought too.
So it should be D.
I know, but then they said it was B. So that's what's messing kids up. So I'm going to go with B because it actually helps with the next question. So they're saying nature is full of delightful surprises, meaning that nature, which is the wind, blew in the egg, and that is a turtle, and that's a surprise. But I totally was like, it could be either one of these. But the story itself says it's this one. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that's going to be important for the next question, because we're going to have to find which detail supports that it's full of delightful surprises. So we're going to look to see which one of these is like a surprise. So we have, oh, there's Jackson. Hi, Jackson.
Hello.
Sorry,
we couldn't get it to go.
That's okay. That's okay. We're just talking about the questions, so you didn't really. All right, so we're just looking at the questions. We looked at part 1 because I was telling Brooklyn that I thought it could be B or D. Are you taking the quiz, Jackson?
Yeah.
But Brooklyn hasn't yet. And it's the actual answer was B. But I could see why you guys might think D too, because that's what I was thinking. But it's actually B. And then in this next,
Because in the story, like they work out stuff.
Yeah. So it is B as in boy. But then we got to figure out, because we have to figure out which one of these goes with it's a delightful surprise. All right, so but then he noticed things amiss. He crowded surprised, who eggs is this? He is then all raced back to wait and see, each wondering, will it look like me? And then a snap, the eggshell spread, out popped a baby turtle's head. Story is done, the egg belonged to everyone. I mean, these are hard questions because these are all like surprises. Which one of these do you think?
I don't feel like it's D. Wait.
It's not D.
I know it's not D because
It's either B or C is the right one. So which one is like, oh my gosh, it's a surprise?
I think it's D actually.
No, it's not D.
D.
Oh, B. Okay, as a C guy, it's hard to see on Zoom. Jackson.
Yeah, probably B, but I put D on mine.
Okay. Well, it's okay. I told you these ones are difficult to do. So if we went with nature's full of delightful surprises, Lori says it should be C. So we're all wrong. That's okay. And then a snap, the eggshell spread out, popped a baby turtle's head. So they're just looking at that as like a surprise, like a,
No, I thought it was C.
Oh, C. Oh, Brooklyn, you were right.
I see.
Gotcha. C as in kitty cat. All right, and then this is important, and the people who've taken the quiz already, a lot of them missed this question. And again, see why, because we're not helping you with them if you take the quiz ahead of time, and I'm not there to help you. So the next question, let's see if I can get this. Next, okay. So it says, why is it important to the story that the storm takes place? So we're gonna look at, it says lines 1 through 7, which you can do in poetry. Okay, so here it is. The farm slept through the gusty storm, all tucked away inside and warm. While rafters shook and hinges squeaked, shutters banged and branches creaked. The night was dark, the wind blew strong, a little egg was blown along. This is where the storm happened and the egg blew in. So that's important.
Yeah, and this is where like the first set the question was.
So yeah, so why is it important that the storm, I'll tell you the one a lot of kids picked, but it wasn't right. So it says, why is it important to the story that the storm takes place? A lot of kids put C, the storm brings the animals closer together, but C is not correct.
I didn't think it was C actually.
Oh, what are you thinking?
It just doesn't make sense. Like the storm was at the beginning, not and then this is the little after question.
Okay, so Jackson, do you remember what you put?
Probably A. I
A.
think it's the A.
Right. If there wasn't a storm, would the egg have blown in? No. The storm's important because it blows in a random egg, a turtle egg, of all things, right? They're not used to having a turtle egg there. Oops, my other computer turned off. The screen's fine for this story. Okay, so it should be A. So Jackson, you were correct. Let's look at the next one. Oh.
I think we're done.
So this is the one where you guys write your answer. And says, how do the animals feel when the egg hatches into a turtle? So I know, Jackson, I read yours this morning, and you used evidence from the text. But what could we say? So Brooklyn, how do you think the animals feel when the egg hatches into a turtle? Are they still mad at each other? Are they happy?
I think at kind of close, at when they first when they first were talking at the end, they were kind of upset of which it was, like who it was, but now they're kind of happy that they get to share and stuff.
Yeah, I think that Jackson will use something from the text, right?
I think I put they all had to share it, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to learn how to.
Yeah. So, because the mystery solved, the story is done, the egg belonged to everyone. So it seems like this, I would probably say animals felt happy when the egg hatched into a turtle. I don't think it will let me type here because I have a different version than you guys. But Brooklyn, you could always, since you haven't done this yet.
I'll do it right after we're done with the meeting.
Oh no, it's fine. You don't have to do it before. But just when you're doing it, a lot of the kids that I've noticed that are answering questions, they're not restating the question or using evidence from the text, which was what, we worked a lot in class that we want to continue on. I do. When the egg hatches into a turtle, the animals feel excited. And Jackson used some text evidence I know in this morning. So maybe this right here. Say, for example, in the story, they clapped and hugged and named her Sue. And that lets you know that they were excited, right?
Yeah, because they clapped. No, that's stuff.
Yeah. And I think, Jackson, when I read yours this morning, yours had a good answer. You just want to make sure your spelling's correct, Jackson. So you can't go back and change it, but I think most of yours were good. So just remember, like next week when you guys are doing it, restate the question and then just you don't have to write some kids wrote like a giant long essay. You don't need an essay. We just want to make sure you're restating the question and then use it.
Some kids overdo. They're just like, oh, I gotta get this done. I gotta make this perfect.
Okay, overdo or underdo?
The only thing that you need is just get it done. And
right.
It doesn't really matter what it looks like.
Oh, you guys are perfect because you guys both have younger siblings. If you look at this question, you guys don't see this one. Were you excited, Jackson, when your little sister was born? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember being excited or were you like,
I was both.
You were both? Yeah, because your sister's littler. Brooklyn, do you remember when your brother, were you excited to have a little brother?
I wasn't happy at all. I was only a child.
But aren't you happy now that you have someone to play with at home during this?
That makes sense because I didn't even know that this would even happen. Like we had to end school and stuff. So it's good that I didn't even play with.
I know. Jackson, are you playing with your little sister or is she too little to play with?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I know my daughter has a friend who only doesn't have any brothers or sisters or pets. So she's really bored. So
yeah, I play with my
even though you fight with your brother or your sister, there's still at least someone else to talk to, right? Are you both playing soccer right now? Practicing soccer?
Yeah.
Skylar?
Only outside in my backyard. But there's not really that much space, so
I know.
my dad's building my backyard, and we're going to put grass on this And our backyard has a huge hill, so we're gonna put grass and stuff. And it's gonna look better than it was. It was only just like dirt and rocks when we first got it, and weeds were everywhere. So then we had to pick it up a lot.
Yeah, we're putting turf in our backyard so my girls can play soccer in the back.
And now it looks really, well, so much better.
So much better.
We made this like puzzle. We made like steps that were with cement, and we put rocks like to make a puzzle up. And it's really nice,
Interesting.
actually.
You have to take a
Just
picture.
puzzles.
Hey, Jackson or Brooklyn, do you have any questions on like the fairy tale story?
No.
Write it. You're just creating your own story pretty much. Just kind of a fun writing activity. So don't worry too much about it. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, next week you guys are meeting with me again. And then hopefully you can do that end of year parade if your parents
I've
told you.
been meeting up with Miss Miller for like
I know.
more than weeks. But like
I
how
know.
many weeks are we gonna meet up with you?
I know, right? You're like, wait, what happened to Mrs. Olsen? I know the
Only
difference.
only until school's over.
Yeah, and then you have summer, and then you guys are in 5th grade. Can you believe that? And then who knows what that will look like. All right, so Jackson, just make sure you keep working on your spelling there at home. All right, Brooklyn, so just fill out this out later, or maybe do it right now when we get off. So you
Yeah.
remember. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and I can always email this back to you because it's recorded, and then in case you forget how to answer that last question, but I bet your mom could help you too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little hard, but I think I can do it because we just
Right.
did it.
Yeah, you pretty much knew the answers, so I think you're gonna be good.
I'm probably gonna recognize the answers, but I'll have to read it anyway,
That's okay.
just to make sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you later, and I'll see you later. And I'll see you
Bye.
on the third screen. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.